Hello, welcome to my workshop. Today we're going to do, actually not just today, it's going to be over the next 3 or 4 or 5 days, but we're going to attempt to make this urn. I've never made an urn. I've been wanting to try it, so that's what we're going to do. I got the cut sheet. It's pretty straightforward. You can't see it, but you can see that I got a cut sheet. This is Wood Turner Pro is what I use. If you look in the descriptions, you'll see me listing these things. Wood Turner Pro, Laminator Pro is how I made the feature ring for this. So with that, let's get started. For the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to show you some of the things I had to do to get ready to make things like the feature rings and whatnot. I didn't want to show everything because this video is long, and it would have been 4 hours long, and I've been editing it and trying to get it down under an hour. So please bear with me. Alright, now it's time to get this feature ring glued up, and there's not a lot to it. It's just laying it out properly and slapping a bunch of glue on it. Alright, so this is the feature ring, or the beginning of a feature ring. I'm going to go ahead and run it through the drum sander, get it cleaned up and ready to go. Then we can start cutting all the segments. Alright, so what I'm doing now is that I've got this set up at 30 degrees. I've got to cut these at a 1/2 inch each. Okay, let me cut 2 of them, then I'll show you what happens next. Maybe. There we go. This thing's so long and bulky that I had to, I'm using this clamp to help me hold everything together. But anyway, so we got these 2 cut. We just turn one this way, and that becomes one segment. And what we'll do is we'll cut this off at the bottom and at the top, and the cherry is on this will blend in with the rest of the vase, or the urn, I'm sorry. That's going to be cherry. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and cut let's see, 48 of these. So I'm not going to bore you with all that cutting, but I just wanted to tell you what I'm kind of doing here. Okay. Okay, the next step, of course, is to glue these up, and I'm going to show you how I do that. It's pretty simple, right? Just knocking off some burrs here. Probably really don't have to have them. Let me go grab some clamps. Okay, very simple, right? Gonna run over. Just kind of take a look at it, see if it's lining up well. Looks pretty good. Now those don't match up that well, so now I have to go over here and find one. This one's going to match up better. The woods are going to match up better, I think. Yeah, we're okay. Okay, so very simple. I think I got to fill this thing up, huh? Okay. Kind of get it all lined up. Press it. Okay. One down, and I have 23 more to make. Okay. All right, I'm gonna cut the next ring. Now there's 16, I'm sorry. Let me think about it. How many rings are there? I can't remember. 16 rings, counting the feature ring. So there's 24 segments per ring. And what I do is what the cut sheet tells me how big each segment is. And you measure it from the back, the larger end of the segment, the back side, the outer diameter part of the segment. And the cut sheet tells me here is 0.67, so I just have to, I mark it on a stick. This is how I do it. Come up to the blade, see where it's at, come down and adjust the stop, and there we go. Now I got to cut 24 of those. Now these are, let's see here, 1 inch. These are all 1 inch, so I got 1 inch stock over here ready to go. Okay. Turn on my vac system. Just get to cutting. Do a clean cut. One. Two. So that is 1 ring worth of segments. So that's what I do. I just keep cutting, and it takes a few hours to get it all done, and then we'll start making the rings. Okay.
All right, now what we're doing, I cut one end off. I thought I would had the camera on recording, but I don't know, I goofed up somehow, but I'm cutting the other half off, okay? And that's really all this step is cutting these off, so. Alrighty. Alright, so that's that part. Now what I gotta do is clean this up. I gotta set this blade at 7.5 degrees because I got 20, keep in mind I got 24 segments. Angle has to be 15 degrees per segment, so that's, you cut that in half because you're doing two sides, that's 7.5. So I gotta change the angle on the saw. I have my handy dandy degree finder here. You see I got 0 out the saw, split bed. Then I put it on the side of the saw, which is at 90 degrees. So I just have to go, let's see, maybe I ought to put on the other, I gotta put on the other side, what am I thinking? Put on this side. And I just crank it over to 97.5. Oh, I'm going the other way now. 82.5, right? Alright, that's 82.5. I know it's a little touchy. Double check the other side. Should be, there we go. Alright. That's all we gotta do. Now I do have to lower the saw. It's a little high. I did that for an earlier job. Oh. Now I need to move this over. Now with cutting this, I got to find the best side, and the best side is go down because that puts the short side on the inside of the base. And if this isn't perfect, then I want it on the inside where nobody sees it, right? So most of them come out really good, but a few of them are not that good. If you'll see here, they're missing a little bit. This side's really good, but that side isn't. So I want this side up. All right, just turn on the back system and cut it and see what it looks like. That happens. Alright, so that's the segment. And I'm just going to do that 24 more times. So I'm going to do some measuring and everything, make sure it's set right. It looks like it is, but alright, I'm not going to run it all for you because it can get really boring, kind of like the other cuts, but you know what I'm doing. Okay, all the segments have been cut for all 16 rings. Actually, a base and a 15 rings because the base is going to be made out of a solid piece. So now what I got to do is start making the rings, and I like to start with this one. It's the feature rings because it's the one that's got so much work involved in it. It's pretty easy. and you know, I'm sure the, at least I hope I cut all the angles correctly. Now, all I do is I take a disc, and I think I'm gonna use a short one, maybe? Yeah, the short one. Get me, let's see, 3 rubber bands on there. I don't know if I need the small rubber band or the big ones. Let me put one big one on and see how it feels. I think I might have to use a small rubber band. All right, here is the rings for this urn. All unwrapped, you know, all the rubber bands are off and everything. And now I'm getting ready to run them through the drum sander. All right, you get the idea. So I'm gonna sit here and run all these through the drum sander. All right, now it's time to start building the bowl. All the segments have been sanded and it's looking pretty good. The way I like doing it is I like building it on the lathe because it keeps everything in balance. So and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 4 or 5 rings on, let them dry, maybe even overnight, and then I'm going to turn them on the inside because this is a big item, and if I just build it, I'll have a hard time even turning the inside, right? So this has got to be done in stages. Pretty much how this process goes, and I'll just keep doing this. It's time to turn the 4 or whatever 5 rings I put on. Okay, I'm not going to record mounting every one of these rings because that's kind of ridiculous to waste your time. Okay. My son made this for me with his 3D printing machine. He lives up in Ohio and he sent it to me. This will be for the lid. Will go on the top here. But right now what I want to do is insert this here. Okay, and then I'll continue adding rings onto this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Probably ought to do is try to mark this because I don't want to go too far. I'm going to know when the best way to do that. That ain't going to work. Put a line there and check it. Boy, I couldn't have done much better than that, huh? All right, so I'll go probably to here and check it again. I'm gonna go back to the other tool now. I'm so close. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go sharpen this tool. I think that's all right. I got it sharpened up. Let's see how we do now. First time in my life I ever worked with that dark wood. It's called Wenge, and I don't know about it. It's expensive and hard, but it also splits really easy. I had to glue up a few split spots as I was going. That went really well. Let's see how close we are to this thing. Okay, we're getting there. Ooh, I'm glad I stopped there. Oh, that's perfect. My goodness. All right, so I have to take some epoxy, and I'm gonna use that to put it in. Glue on another ring. After I flatten this out, I think it's a little off. This video might be a little long, but you know, there's a lot of parts to this urn. All right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to turn the inside of this is the base of the urn, and I'm just going to take off enough wood just to make it, you know, a smooth curve. Not very much wood at all. I don't want to take off very much at all. Oh, I forgot to turn on the camera. So here what I'm doing now, this is the top of the urn, and I'm preparing it so that it can attach the feature ring to it. I'll attach this to that, but I got to prepare it first because I won't be able to get into this part, you know, again. So okay, I like it.
Yes, turned out really nice. Okay, we're good there. All right, what I'm gonna do is lightly sand this, then I'm gonna glue this on there, and tomorrow we can tackle the inside of this, and then we can attach it all. Over here, if I go do this, you can see over here, this is the other half of the urn. So it's gluing up. So I got it in the press. I glued it up over here, but then I swapped. Because I'm coming from both ends, I can work both ends. Okay, till tomorrow. All right, now what I got to do is the inside of the feature ring. I did the inside of this lower part. As I think you see. Oh, I just showed you that, I think. And now we'll do this. Take off about, I don't know, ½ inch or so. We'll see how it goes. Okay. That's good. All right. Then what I got to do is I got to clean the inside of this one up. Okay. Well, that's a lot. Well, it'll be okay. At least I hope it will. All right, so we can tell right now that we got to straighten out the face of this thing.
these sharpened. I think we're there. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the camera because it's probably too warm now and I need to take a break. All right, we finally got this beast built. I started it about 4 or 5 days ago. Started cutting parts and we're finally to this point. I mean, not 8-hour days, but a couple of days were 8-hour days. But when it got to gluing, it slows things down because you gotta wait till the glue sets. I went on and did other things while I was waiting on the glue set. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start in the middle, get that flat. Then I'm gonna go down this way and then do the top. Now, eventually I'm gonna have to get I can't remember what it's called, but you'll see what I mean when time comes to support this. Anyway, it'll come to me. So as I get older, I just can't remember anything. So, all right, so let's get it going. What did I do? Well, I learned a terrible lesson today. How to keep track of the thickness when you're doing something like this. This is my first time trying something like this, so I had no idea of keeping track. I took too much off of the outside, trying to shape it, and I took too much wood. Which is actually a kind of a good thing, that because had I done it without breaking it, I would never have known how thick it was, and it would have been way too thin. Well, I'm not even sure I can save that feature ring, but I can look at it. Well, it turns out I did save the top half. So I can just make some rings for the bottom and put it back together. So that's what I'm gonna look at starting to do. Put it back together. Alrighty, until I get it, when I get it done, I'll show everybody. All right, well, we are down to the home stretch. Got to get this base done, and after I do that, finish sanding. Then I got to remove this waste block on top that's held to the chuck. That's pretty much it. So, put a medallion in it maybe. But that's kind of where we're at. think that might be what I want. It is, except for right in there, which I'm gonna have to maybe do sandpaper for that. Okay. All right, so what I'd like to do is put some tape on here. If not, it puts these black marks on there from the skate wheels that are, I made this with skate wheels, which works really well. But I don't want the black marks all over the urn. So this works really well to prevent that. About 3 or 4 layers work the best. 1 layer is not enough. Cuts right through it. I think that should be good. This stupid tape has gotten expensive, hasn't it? Unbelievable. Okay. Just kind of move this up. All right, let me get this bottom done. Now, what I got to do is cut this off here. Pretty much it, and then we'll do the top after that. Getting close. I'm surprised that that's not coming off there. Nope, there it is. I thought it was close. All right, as you can see, the threads are right here. That's the thing I was watching out for, and I did a pretty good job of not hitting those, so that's good. That's good to know. All right. I just got to clean up the top. Best I can. I'm thinking a scraper might be the better one, but I don't know. Nah, we'll use a small gouge. What did I do with my small gouge? Here it is. That's just glue. All right, just 1 second. Okay, pretty good. Give me a little sanding on that edge. The edge is pretty rough. That'll be kind of part of the lid. So let me a little rough in there. Well, I did my best. That's all I can say. All right, now this is the lid. Okay. Now keep in mind, I've never done any of this before. So this is virgin territory, all of this. So far, I almost had one disaster, losing the whole thing, and I was able to bounce back and put it back together, but I don't know. Thing that bounces a lot in it. It's screwed on, but it's off a little bit, and I don't think there's much I can do about that at this point. Maybe one thing. Let me pull this off. Okay, I don't know. Oops. Yeah, I do that every now and then, screw up. Okay, that's running true right there, so that means the inside of this is a little off.
I didn't explain this very well. When the lid goes on, it's not setting flush on top, and there's a gap. Half of it's a gap, the other half's hitting. So that's what I'm struggling with at this point.
Maybe have it on there and take apart my thin parting tool and straighten it out that way. I don't know. That might be the way to do it. Let's try it. God, I pray. Gotta go kind of slow here. Let's see what I gotta do. Crap. There we go. Okay. All right. So what I did is I turned it past the thread. So technically that should go all the way in now. I don't know about technically, hopefully. No, it doesn't want to go all the way in for some reason. I guess because the threads, I think I'd have to go a little deeper because it's stopping where the threads would be. I see what it needs. Not much. Definitely don't want to mess this part up because then the whole thing's kind of snafu'd. Okay, I'm gonna cut another line. Yep, there it goes. It goes on now. Yeehaw. But it is tight, so once a body goes in there, or ashes of a body, it'll have to be forever, obviously. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna round this over and hopefully not screw nothing up. Okay. This is a long video. I realize it's a long video, and if you're still with me, God bless you. Thank you. So, hopefully I've made the errors that you won't never have to make now. Now, the other thing I want to do is I have this piece of wedge that I was going to turn into, I don't know, I was thinking about a little cross on top or something. I don't know, maybe, or just leave it alone like this. Haven't decided. But I got this little spot right here. It's not bad, but it's not perfect either. All right, I'm gonna do some sanding, get this all sanded up, and then I'll come back. Well, here's the finished urn. Now, I know I didn't show you how I completely rebuilt it, but you can tell I had, I showed it in the video, but I was able to save it from here up. So all I did is made 10 rings, put them back on, but this time I was turning it from one end, and I could see exactly what. So I'd add 4 or 5 rings, clean them out, and I could see what was going on. So that time, I learned my lesson, right? I learned to be careful, and I knew it. See, I knew I was thin the day before, but then it was a new day, and I forgot I was thin, and I was just turning wood like I knew what I was doing, and all of a sudden I tore it up. But in the end, I was able to rescue it, and the urn turned out okay. Now this urn is based on my initial calculations is 200 cubic inches inside, and that's what you need for an average sized man. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take rice and put in it and measure it that way. There's another calculation you can do that way. But anyway, regardless, thank you for watching. If you stayed the whole hour to watch this crazy thing be made, I truly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing regardless of me tearing stuff up. And hit that notification bell and it'll know when I'm making something new. But with that, I'd like to say thank you. God bless. Have a great day. Before I go, I should have showed you that it does work. The threads turned out great. Right here, it comes right off. And they're very solid threads. So, you know, once you put it on, you can put it on tight. But, you know, at one point I had it on so tight I couldn't get it off. So I had to fix that. But you can turn on real tight, it would be hard to get off. I mean, if someone's really going to use this for the urn it's meant to be, you're going to want it on there tight, right? You don't want them getting back out. Sorry. That was... Anyway. Take care.